What's up, everybody? Today we're about 9 miles off of Keaton Beach, Florida, which is near Steinhatchee. Some of you aren't familiar with that. We get a shallow water grouper season over here where we can go after grouper inside of 9 miles. And the reason they do that for us is just because it's so shallow. You have to go so far out here, literally 30-40 miles to get into good deep water, that they give us a shallow water season. So we've got to stay inside 9 miles. We'll be 30 foot or less today's typically what we experience there. We've got some rigs for some Spanish mackerel, hopefully some kings, and maybe we'll get on a few gags. We're going to be using these man stretch 25s today. You see I already got a few marks on there from some fish in some of my last videos. We had a wet ride out. It is foggy, a little rough, but we're out here. We're gonna see if we can make something happen. Well, we didn't have any luck with the trolling, so we've decided to cut some squid up. We're gonna drop it to the bottom and see if we can get some grunts and sea bass. Hey. That's pretty good. Another grunt. Well, we'll keep this up. In the middle of them, I guess. Turned out to be a grunt kind of day. It's weird. Oh shit. That's crazy. You got yourself? Yeah. Well, I about did, but I got a fish right now. It's a monster. I'm losing my drags. Oh Lord. Feels like a good fish. Hey, nice grunt for this shallow. Hey. There's some kind of fish. Yeah. Oh, that's Julian reeling one in. I was like, man, there's a fish flying over here. He's swimming right at the boat. Oh, damn. More grunts. Yeah, keep that one too. That's pretty good size. Oh, man, that off. Gonna have us a mess of grunts today. It's kind of unusual for the shallow. No. We're here debating because there's 2 other people on the boat fishing with the same exact thing that I am. For some reason I'm catching all the fish. I guess I got the luck like that. Yeah, I'm starting to get hot. Oh, well, let me get another one on in here. Hey, you guys got all the luck.
Was it Andrew only one getting grunts? You're getting sea bass, and that's why I'm getting sea bass over here.
Well, I just got a sea bass, and I definitely beat y'all on the small size. But I don't know what it is about the grunts. Yeah. More, I think I have just about all I want.
Should we chop up something and send it down?
We can. Just have to, we'll probably do it if we want to do one more drift out here.
Me and the babies.
Right. Yeah, good one.
is. I kind of feel it on my head.
Oh, man.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you've got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out? Down in the deep of my mind, I call for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I call for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you. How long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you.
Well, yesterday didn't quite turn out as planned. Went out there with the intentions of trolling for some grouper and some kingfish. We trolled a while. Didn't catch any kind of grouper, so we decided to cut up some squid, do a little bottom fishing, and once again, sea bass and grunts always tend to save the day. Grunt is kind of an underrated fish. A lot of people consider it either a trash fish or they just consider it a fish that is meant to just save the day. But there are a few people that go out and target them. They taste great, especially sea bass. Grunts have a little bit stronger fish flavor, which my wife loves. I think they taste just fine as well. But I don't know why people don't go out and specifically target them. We found out they were at the spot yesterday, and we caught a big mess in a short period of time. So got some meat to bring home. We're gonna try to do a little dish this afternoon, and I'll include it on the video. All right, let me show you how we clean these grunts up. Just take my knife, come in behind this pec fin, cut down toward the stomach, cut back up behind the head, flip my knife over, follow that backbone down, only cutting in about 3/4 of an inch. When I get to the tail, I just go ahead and come all the way through. And that little incision I made gives me just enough room to get my thumb up in there. Then I just go down along that backbone, cutting the meat off. Just stay close to that backbone so you don't waste anything. And a lot of people will take their time and fillet around the scales. For some reason on these smaller saltwater fish, I just tend to, and I meant to say ribs, I just tend to cut right through the ribs. It's just quicker and easier, especially when I bring a big old mess of fish home. So there you go. This whole darker spot's stronger taste down here, kind of like on mullet if you're familiar with them. So I tend to cut these ribs out and get rid of that. Show you this other side. Up to the head, down toward the stomach. Flip my knife around. Get to the tail, just come on through. Lift the fillet up. Follow it till I hit the ribs. Cut through those ribs. And there's your fillet ready to come off. Alright, now we're going to get the meat off of the skin. Just hold the tail, run your knife down till you touch the skin, and then start turning it in. Just work it along. You can see that meat will pop right off the skin. Again, that darker, muddier look right here, that's a bad taste. So I come in behind those ribs, get that stronger taste out. Then if you'll flip this fish over, it's got a lateral line with a set of pin bones in it. Come down either side, cut those pin bones out. Now you've got a boneless fillet. Oh, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be making a new dish. It's chili lime fish. This is a new recipe that I've never tried before. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the ingredients I mixed up. In here, in all my spices, I have 1 tablespoon of dry mustard, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, a teaspoon of black pepper. In this bowl, I've got a tablespoon of melted butter, and then I've got a tablespoon of chopped up parsley, fresh chopped parsley that I'm going to put in. And I'm going to do pretty much a whole lime in here as well. And then I'm going to do a little bit of Chardonnay wine. Recipe calls for a half cup. I'm probably going to do 3/4 of a cup, which is what's in here. So I have a little bit more fish than what they call for. I've probably got about 1.5 pounds of fish. This recipe calls for 1 pound. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start my lime juice. Alright, put our Chardonnay wine in. Go ahead and mix our seasonings in. Stir that in until it's well blended. Go ahead and add my fresh chopped parsley. And go ahead and add our fish. Also forgot to mention I put 1/4 teaspoon of salt in here. Alright, we'll cover our fish and just let them marinate for a few minutes. Alright, in the meantime I'm making dirty rice, which is just long grain white rice mixed with bell peppers, onions, and some Cajun seasoning, and some Silver Queen sweet corn out of the garden. Alright, so I'll let my fish marinate for a few minutes, and all I've done is took about 1/4 stick of butter, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, heated that up, and we're just going to cook our fish. I'm going to take what's left over in this bowl, I'm going to spoon it over the fish. Alright, here we are with the final product. Again, I made dirty rice, which is nothing more than onions, bell peppers, rice. You can do a mixture of bell peppers, and then I also did black beans with it as well, a can of those. The fish looks amazing, smells amazing. I'll try to include the recipe in the bottom. And then Silver Queen, sweet corn. If you've never had that before, I have never seen it in any grocery store down here, but we grow it ourselves. It's just kind of a southern staple. Best sweet corn I've ever had in my life. So sweet, so good. But take a look at the fish. Nice and white. I think this is going to be amazing, especially with that rice. Go ahead and say a quick blessing and I'll try some of it. That is really, really good. I know I say that with a lot of dishes, but I really do like this. I can taste the lime, I can taste the wine, the chili seasoning, which I absolutely love. That's just one of my favorite seasonings, that and taco seasoning. This goes together great. Give this a shot, maybe you'll like it. I think this would work well with just about any kind of thinner type fish. Bass, brims, saltwater fish, you name it. I don't think you'll have a problem making this dish work. Thank y'all for watching. Like, share, subscribe.